Hi, this is Chaz Palminteri, and if you're thinking about getting your eyes done, the only person to see is Dr. Rothman of LASIK of Nevada. I flew all the way from New York to be here, and Dr. Rothman did my eyes. And all I could say is, it's a miracle. I could see. You see Dr. Rothman of LASIK of Nevada.
In fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada, this is Pub Crawl, where each week we struggle to recall our adventures in and around Las Vegas, giving a unique perspective on the best places to tear it up in the entertainment capital of the world. Now, without further ado, here are your hosts, Alicia and David.
Hey there, and welcome to Pub Crawl, the best source of Vegas-y drinking goodness. I'm Alicia.
Man, you said that like a pro.
I said it really fast.
I know. I am David, also on Pub Crawl, Vegas Video Network. Anyways, it's Thanksgiving! Tomorrow!
Tomorrow! Yay!
So, we think we would do some wild turkey. Or not. Oh, we might tomorrow.
We will tomorrow.
Anyway, let's welcome the live studio audience.
Welcome. Welcome to the live chat room.
The live chat room! It's funny, I point like it's in a different place. Because live chat room is everywhere. But I point to it like it's over there. But it's not. It's all around us.
It's all around.
Yes. If you'd like to email us, which you should like to, pubcrawl@vegasvideonetwork.com. That's pubcrawl@vegasvideonetwork.com. Have I mentioned that, up to like 10 years ago, who knew what that was?
I think you've mentioned that before.
The @ it's remarkable. Or a tilde.
Is it really a tilde?
No, I'm kind of shedding. Huh?
Look, there's a cat hair flying around.
No, the tilde. That's that little thing before the one. Like on your keyboard, it's just a little schwa. I use it to cheat folders higher. Like in iTunes or whatever, I want something to be on top. I'll go tilde, songs that rule, and it'll be like, it goes above like an A or a number. I don't know what else it's used for.
Let's go.
Anyway.
I don't use it.
Toll-free listener line, no tildes involved. 866-966-4599.
I thought you had that memorized.
I did,
David.
but I got all goofy because I started thinking too much. Twitter, we're the LV Locals. And the network is Vegas Video Network.
That's right.
Also, check out the other shows on Vegas Video Network. Still kicking butt. You can hear them if you're in Vegas on Friday nights on KSHP 1400 AM. The big KSHP.
There you go.
The big KSHP. 2 for Tuesday on KSHP. I'm working on it. Okay. That channnel bottles my mind.
Totally.
I was listening to it driving on the other day, and it's incredible. If you're into Vegas and you're into buying stuff, that's the place to go.
Also the Roku.
Oh, the Roku! If you lose your remote, iPhone will work. I haven't tried it, but we heard. iTunes, audio and video. Mm-hmm. I just mentioned iTunes. You want to put us above, if you want to put your podcast above your other stuff, you go tilde podcast. I don't think you can name your podcast folder actually. But and YouTube. I was all over YouTube today. I was a YouTube maniac.
What were you doing?
I got a new gig playing bass, and when I have to learn songs, I go to YouTube and watch people play songs.
Okay.
Which is weird. People do that? They just have them playing. So you can't even see their head. They've got like a bass or guitar or whatever, and they play the song. And that's it. They got thousands of views. I think it's for people like me to go and watch people learn how to play.
Studying.
Yeah. Instead of trying to figure it out yourself, just watch some dude do it.
Yeah, why not?
That's how it is. Anyway, by popular demand, if you know what, you guys can't say we didn't do anything for you because we've promised this for 2 weeks. This week we're going to fulfill our destiny.
This week we remembered. We almost forgot again.
Right, like Luke Skywalker.
So you're lucky. We remembered.
We're going to fulfill our destiny on this week's Cocktail of the Week. You know, I haven't mentioned it in a while. You know that song? Pretty cool, isn't it?
It is. It's swanky.
It's swanky. Okay, cocktail of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, you asked for it. The Sidecar. But this is the perfect bourbon Sidecar. We'll mention the other Sidecar. The only real difference is the main ingredient, bourbon. But you'll talk about that in the history of the Sidecar.
Yes, that will be the drunk term.
Right, so, but we're going to do our bourbon Sidecar. Now, the reason I'm doing bourbon, first off, I happen to have a nice, humongous bottle of Maker's Mark.
That's a big one.
And we needed it for the turkey.
We did.
No, we needed it for the ham.
For the for the ham.
And the chef. So we ended up buying a big. So anyway, so this is the bourbon Sidecar. I think anything a Sidecar is orange liqueur, lemon juice, and whatever.
Yeah, lemon or lime juice.
Right. So we're doing lemon because it's traditional. I'll start.
Okay.
And you can give us a little dissertation like that one. I don't even know if I said that right.
I shall, but you should make one first. We can give the amounts, the ratios.
Oh, okay. Well, what is it? Bourbon? A lot.
Okay, so you're making 2.
Where's my stuff?
Uh-oh.
Oh, my little stand. My little.
I think you're free pouring right now.
Free pouring.
Free pouring, okay.
Like, you know. Free pouring. I know. My stuff. I thought something was missing. I can free pour it, though.
Stuff. Where's the stuff?
Wait. We only need the one. Oh, look at all my stuff.
Things. Here we go. Thank you.
This has still got a little bit of blue curacao in it. It's still a little sticky.
That'll be the extra special.
But you know what?
flavor.
This isn't a public bar. The health department ain't here. Okay, so how much of this stuff?
Don't say that too loud.
Please don't get me.
Okay, so you're making 2.
Yeah.
So you're going to need 3 ounces of bourbon.
3 ounces of bourbon. That's 3-ish ounces of bourbon.
1.5 ounces of orange liqueur. So you've got.
But you want to use
Cointreau.
Cointreau. I mean, you might can use Grand Marnier, but you don't want to use Safeway brand orange.
No, I don't
Schnapsy
even
stuff.
think there's a cheap brand of that.
How much of this?
1.5 ounces.
Oh, so just okay. So half as much. Oh, this stuff's so good. You know, when I'm at a show in Vegas, I only drink shots of orange liqueur, and that's an old story that I should probably tell after I have this drink.
Okay. And same with the lemon juice.
Really?
1.5.
So it's equal parts lemon juice and
Cointreau.
Cointreau. Wow. Shake and strain?
Shake with ice and strain into a chilled cocktail glass with a sugared rim.
Well, we're not-
Which we don't have, and garnish with an orange peel. Which I'm getting very sad that we don't have garnish.
And you know us, we don't garnish.
You should. I'm going to take charge of the garnishes.
All right, you could be the garnish girl.
I'm the garnish girl. I wish Rat was around. He could be the garnisher.
The
He can come
garnish
around
rat.
and garnish.
What's happening, baby?
Oh, is he here?
All right. This is a perfect bourbon Sidecar. Now, we haven't tried this. No, we've tried a regular Sidecar. Now, wow, look at that. Almost like I know what I'm doing. My lady.
And this is the first time I've tried this.
Me
so.
too.
Jeez.
Wow, that's good. You know
It
what
is
it
good.
is? I like lemon juice. I like that.
That's
bite.
really good.
So explain to us Sidecars and
Okay.
the like.
So you were researching. So we traced the Sidecar back to 1930 to Harry's New York bar in Paris. But the Sidecar was really a modernized version of one of the oldest cocktails on record, the Brandy Cresta, which sounds really gross.
I think if we have a child,
Cresta?
Brandy Cresta.
Brandy Cresta Ivy.
Yes!
Ew! That's a dirty name.
Oh.
The Cresta was made with brandy, Cointreau, lemon, and served in a glass with a rim crusted in sugar, hence its appetizing name.
Oh,
So,
okay.
the classic Sidecar is made in exactly the same fashion, except that brandy has been upgraded to cognac. Or we switched ours to,
Well, well, the bourbon.
to bourbon.
Yeah, because that's why we didn't do a traditional Sidecar, because that's cognac. And I didn't really want to buy any cognac.
Yeah. So other ones, there's a Boston Sidecar, which you use light rum and brandy,
That's probably pretty good.
and then triple sec, and then lemon or lime juice. You could do a gin Sidecar, which is just gin, triple sec, and lemon or lime juice, or an apple Sidecar, which is apple brandy, so you can use a Calvados or Applejack, triple sec, and lemon or lime juice.
Wow,
So it's all
okay.
pretty.
So basically, it's that
pretty
main
basic.
ingredient that changes it up. Except in the Boston, I have my own notes, I suppose. That it was light rum brandy. Triple sec they mean is the orange liqueur. So it's brandy and because it's brandy was a traditional. Cognac is how it's done now. I didn't want to have to buy a whole thing of cognac, so I used bourbon.
Yeah.
Which I found this is one of the best top 10 cocktails.
It's an easy, quick drink. You can impress your friends or your date.
Like last week when we said with the Singapore sling and how fancy it is. I'm not wearing my gloves.
The Singapore sling. Oh, and you're in your smoking jacket.
Yes. Oh, next week. But there is a tradition in town. This started before we lived here. We went to go see Blue Man Group back when it was at the Excalibur. Mm-hmm. You got a shot of Wild Turkey, and I got Grand Marnier, because I had just tried that. We were at like El Torito in California. Yeah. Fancy place. And
you're like, I love this orange stuff.
I know, because they give you a little, because it's kind of like margarita. It's a margarita with triple sec on the side, which is, Grand Marnier if it's good. I was like, I didn't even know it was orange. It just tasted good. So we were in Vegas like the next weekend. I want a shot of that. So ever since now, when we go to a show, I get a shot of Grand Marnier.
And I get my shot of Wild Turkey.
Right. And then we sleep through the second act.
Well, I do. Yours is pretty late.
So let's take a quick station ID and come back with our pub crawl adventure.
Traditional media believes that after about 3 minutes, you'll tune out. Most Vegas media companies think if it doesn't jiggle, you won't tune in. At the Vegas Video Network, we think both are wrong. The Vegas Video Network is the first and only live online broadcast network that specializes in insider news and expert views about Vegas. We combine great storytelling with the ability to watch when and where you want on your computer, mobile device, or television. Discover the real Las Vegas. Visit VegasVideoNetwork.com.
We're back with our perfect bourbon sidecars.
And a pub crawl adventure.
You know what's funny? I was thinking the whole time I'm having this, I kept thinking, what are those things in San Francisco? The cars, the streetcar. I kept picturing streetcar every time I said sidecar. Now I just realized that's the thing next on a motorcycle. That's an odd name for a drink. The whole time for years I've been thinking a streetcar, but no, it's sidecar. Which that's kind of weird, because this sure doesn't remind me of sitting on a little pod next to a motorcycle.
Who knows? Who knows?
Nor a streetcar. Okay, now you might not know it by our fancy attire and our classy ways, but we do like a good dive bar. And I tell you, we set out this weekend one night, and this was planned. You were getting ready, and I went onto the Yelp, and I looked up dive bars and tried to find, and went through a bunch of the sites and a bunch of people we know to find the dive-e-est dive bars that Vegas knows. And boy, I think we found some.
There's some really good ones. So they're about, maybe like a mile or two apart from each other?
This is so weird. Yeah.
So we just hit one after another, and we just were making our way across the town.
The funny thing about dive bars in this town, that's a really good point I didn't even write down. All the dive bars, I'm going to write it down so I can remember to say it in 2 seconds.
Oh, come on.
Okay. They're all on the east side, but I just don't really. That's the old side of town. There aren't really dive bars on the west side of town.
I think there might be. We just may not know about them yet.
Well, but they won't be far off. Like Bikini Bar used to be a dive bar, the old Sand Dollar and all that, and the Venetian that's now Herbs and Rye. Those kind of places, but all the ones that are still existing are over by the college and over by the old mall, the for sale mall.
Yeah, and there was a few that I would have never even known they were there. Oh. They were like behind a bank or behind a building, and they're hidden.
Yeah, well, we started at Noreen's. Now we had seen Noreen's Cocktail Lounge before because Casa de Amore, which is one of our favorite little old school Vegas pizzerias,
Italian place,
opened way late. Got the great singer in there. I wish I could remember his
name.
George. He's a Facebook friend. That's just amazing. Live entertainment, tiny little place, great pizza. We're not actually doing a review of Casa de Amore, but anyway, we go there. That's a lot. We hit there at night a lot of times on the way home. Across the street is this Noreen's Steeler Bar. I mean, it has a big Pittsburgh Steelers thing on the outside. All the cards are all Pittsburgh Steelers, and so I'll start there. So on our way out, we started there. It was Friday night. It couldn't have been 9 o'clock. Couldn't have been, but we had to get buzzed in. So you already know this is a good sign.
Yeah, and this is how it all through the night we were getting buzzed in everywhere.
Every place we went, we had to get buzzed in, and that's how you know.
Classy joints. And
in fact, we were talking. Well, I'll get to that in a second about the other place that they'll buzz you in the daytime, because it's always locked. So Noreen's.
So this is on 2799 East Tropicana.
Right.
If you're driving around, you
right.
listen to it.
In fact, it's across from Casa de Amore. In fact, should be the tip of the week. Casa de Amore, if you're staying on the Strip, will limo pick you up and bring you to their place.
But back to Noreen.
And then you can walk across the street to Noreen.
Right. Right.
And then you get whacked on the way back because, anyway.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't advise it.
Noreen was the nicest group of people. We walked in, and it was weird because when you walk into a locked bar, it's an odd sensation. I got to say, that's a really weird thing. You walk in, it's locked. Like
they've also got a camera on you, so they can, they know who's at the door. So everybody in the whole.
They saw us through the window.
The other place, I was watching on a camera.
Right.
So they're watching you, kind of like, looking around.
Well, and they make a judgment call whether to let you in or not.
Right.
And that's what's kind of weird about the.
I guess we were acceptable.
I guess.
I don't know.
So, you walk in there, you're in a locked bar. So now the 12 people that are in there are locked in with you. This is a really odd situation. But hopefully and thankfully, they were all really nice. I mean, really nice. It was like the reggae guy. It was like, and the lady who has been worked there for 20-something years.
Mary.
Now,
over 20. Marie. Over 20 years she's been the bartender.
You know how Steelers this place is? It's owned by the brother of the ex-mayor of Pittsburgh. Like, that's how Steelers it is.
Yeah, she's in tight with the whole family.
Yeah, it's nuts. I mean, it is. If you're into, I wrote on my notes, do not wear your Ravens jersey
no.
I mean,
But drink prices, the $3 wells, pretty darn cheap. They have their Bird Club. It's $40 to get in, but then once you get the T-shirt, you get a bunch of stuff, and then you also can sign up for a bunch of gaming deals too.
Yeah, it's just
pretty good, pretty cool.
It's more of like an East Coast thing where you pay to be in the club and you get a T-shirt. She gave us bumper stickers and the Steelers logo on it. It's really cool little dive bar. No food, which was kind of odd.
But they can order in if you need food.
I know a pizza place across the street. No, it was really good. I mean, A+. One thing we did notice. This might happen a couple other times tonight. Their Diet Coke stunk. I don't mean stunk like it smelled. I mean stunk like it wasn't very good. And that was a consistent thing on every place we went to.
Every dive bar
had crappy Diet Coke.
I don't know.
We usually, look, we're some fancy drinking folks. But when we're out, we do, I know everybody cocks their eye when we say it, but we do tequila diets. That's kind of our drink. We love tequila. We don't like margaritas because it's too sugary, so we do tequila and Diet Cokes, which I actually really like. There's a whole other reason for doing that as well. Everybody remembers us because it's a tequila diet. People.
It's the people who like to drink that crappy tequila.
Yeah.
Diet.
But the thing is, we don't care how crappy your tequila is, but have good Diet Coke because it'll mask the fact that it's crappy tequila. It doesn't matter. They had crappy diets. So did everybody else. It wasn't like the high-end diet we're used to.
Yeah, so that's interesting.
But awesome place. I mean, if you're in town and the Steelers are playing, go to Noreen's Cocktail Lounge. I mean, I can't imagine how crazy it's a bye week for the Steelers this week, so we're not going, but I can't imagine. They call it Westburg instead of Pittsburgh because it's a West Coast Pittsburgh. Anyway.
So then we were going to go to another place called The Garage.
Okay, and we told the bartender because she was so nice, and I said, we're doing a pub crawl show, blah blah. Here's my card, and blah blah blah, and give me some money, and I'll give you a good review, and all my normal spiel. And so she goes. I said, we're going to head over to the Garage over by the college. I've never been there. I think it's kind of gayish, which is fine, but we've never been there. She goes, that's where the murder was last week.
That's Monday. Yeah, and we're like, what?
Whoa, all right, now that's going in the new levels of dive bardom. But she said, apparently this is the most famous murder in Vegas history because everywhere we went for the next 3 days, all everybody talked about was this particular. She said,
it was a domestic dispute or something.
Right, somebody killed his boyfriend. Oh, yeah, that was you. Yeah. So apparently we're the only two people in the world who
didn't know.
So we leave there. We're like, we'll go there anyway because it wasn't like a random shooting, so we're pretty safe. My hat's getting hot. Being a pilgrim is hard work.
It is, but you got to do it.
Anyway, so we head over to the Garage. We didn't even mention it because it. Literally, they were having like a candlelight vigil.
We drove by and there was so many
50,000
people
in the warehouse,
outside.
so we just kept going. We'll talk about that some other day when we can get in. And headed over to a place that doesn't even have an address listed. That's how you know it's cool. I had to really do some stuff to find the Smuggle Inn on Vegas Valley Drive. Now that's a weird thing. It's basically Sahara and Maryland Parkway. It's kind of behind the hospital. It's this little side street called Vegas.
Sunrise.
If you put in 1305 Vegas Valley Drive, you'll find it. Smuggle in, got buzzed in.
Of course.
And went in, and it was awesome.
It was a nice, dark little bar, and it was
like a nautical theme.
And it was the weirdest shaped bar I've ever seen.
We've got
the biggest bar.
Okay, now that's something we've been really talking a lot about amongst ourselves, is what shape your bar is in. And I don't mean what shape the decor is in, what shape the bar is. When you walk in and the bar is facing the wall,
like nobody's looking at each other, they're all just staring at TVs.
Yeah,
it doesn't make
they're all
it
just staring at the wall. I don't
very,
like
very good
that.
for socializing.
We like horseshoe bars or circle bars where you can see across the bar and you can see everybody.
People watch and talk to people.
And I'm noticing now that we've been spending, our 460,000th hour in a bar, those little subtleties are kind of becoming important to me. Like, I don't want to sit where you're sitting next to me and we're facing a wall. Well, that's not,
That's no fun.
Yeah, we first discovered this with the old country western thing, Toby Keith's bar, which is a big, weird, like, kidney shape, and Gillies, which is kind of almost a better place, but the bar runs along the wall, so you just face a wall.
Well, and they have static chairs, so you sit on the stool and you can't even rotate.
You can't even move them.
Face the bar.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. So anyway, this had this crazy shaped bar. But it went into one room and out into another room, like really cool, and everything was done up in palm fronds. Is that how you say that?
Yes.
But it was weird. They were all booths, but they were all empty, and they're always empty because they don't serve food.
But they used to serve food a long time ago, but they just never bothered to redesign it, so you can actually use that area.
Right. It's just a big, cool shaped bar with all these tables and chairs, like booths though, that aren't even useful because you can't.
But I bet that place gets packed, and I bet it's a pretty cool party spot.
I have no idea. I have no opinion.
But
I have no opinion. I don't know. I
think it'd be awesome.
It was the only place I've ever walked into and thought, if I ever caught a friend doing something they shouldn't be doing,
they'd be doing it here.
Yeah, I'd catch him in here.
What are you doing here?
You're like, oh, that's not your wife. Whatever.
Yeah.
It looked like one of those. Again, buzzed in. We have food next door.
There's no address to find.
I know, really. I mean, that's about as low key as you're going to get.
Smuggled in.
There was a pizza place and some kind of Mediterranean thing next door. And that's good because the door was open to the kitchen and there's just like old, like really European bald guys smoking in the kitchen. It's like, wow, that's got to be good. I mean, really. I mean, that looked good. If we weren't already full, we'd have ordered some food for next door. I mean, it looked like very authentic. But to smuggle in, I'd give it an A. That was great. Again, $3 drinks, crappy Diet Coke.
They had a good jukebox. Good music in there.
They had a great jukebox. Way hipper than I would have thought for a place of this magnitude. Crappy Diet Coke, though.
But we've heard stories about that place. You get very interesting mix of people in there.
Well, it's a weird thing. Well, that's the place we heard that if it's at noon, you have to be buzzed in. It's always locked. Yeah, it's just always locked.
Yeah.
So anyway, you're locked in there again. Great place. So from there, now we started really going downhill.
Oh, but before we move on, I have to mention the price of well drinks because now we're getting even cheaper.
Okay.
So now it's $2.25.
Wow.
Even better. Okay. Now we're moving on.
Yeah, crappy Diet Coke or not, that's pretty good.
And they're strong. They're not little, and they're not the little tiny.
Oh no, you're not in a casino getting those little.
You're in a locals dive bar.
Yeah, you're getting I mean a glass of beer. So we headed over. Now we start going down. Not that it was a bad place. We start going to it. This is actually a legitimately bad neighborhood. Now we're on Sahara, and actually we're not a mile from where we were.
It's 1600 East Sahara.
1600 East Sahara. My cousin Vinny. I've heard of this, and it's not like it's themed after the Ralph Macchio movie. It's not. In fact, it's full of standees, cardboard standees, and mannequins.
Yeah, they're just all kind of standing. You could pose with them, but
it's its own standalone building over on Sahara in Maryland.
It's very interesting.
Right,
it's tiny.
Next to the car lots and not like the new car lots, but like the used car lots and everything. There's this one little building sitting on Sahara, and we had to get buzzed in. We walk in. There's a girl working the bar. It's funny. It was a female bartender every place we went. Except the next place, but so far. And she's there by herself, and one old dude at the end, And they were all both really nice. And that was it in the bar. Finally, some other guy came in. It was Veterans Day we were there, I think, because he was a veteran. Something was going on with that. Anyway, and that was the only people in there, except all the mannequins and cardboard standees.
So it felt like there was a room full of people.
If you ever seen The Lonely Guy with Steve Martin? They tell you to buy those and put them in your window so it looks like you've got people in your... Oh, we got a chat room question.
Yeah, Jackie wants to know, is the Smuggle Inn also a hotel?
No. In fact, none of these are. These are all... But if it was...
That's a very good question, because you would think that it would be an inn, but...
It is funny. It's called the Inn, yeah. You wouldn't want to stay there.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, you believe me, you wouldn't.
Wouldn't recommend this inn.
So, my cousin Benny, it was a really cool bar, though. I mean, it was a tiny bar with lots of mirrors. She was doing all kinds of games. We signed up for a free shot, but she never gave it to you.
Yeah, because you know those little shot glasses where you slam them down and then they go doop doop, the lights.
And it gives you how many numbers.
Yeah.
And she goes, if you guessed a number, you get a free shot. She tapped it down and you went 4.
No, I just said 6.
You said 6.
That's my number 6.
And it came at 6. She goes, oh, you get a free shot. Then she did it to me. It's a little shot glass and it lights up. And I said 2, my lucky number. And it was 4.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
then she never gave
She never gave it.
She walked away and I'm like, okay, well, I don't care because we're going to continue our
we
crawl anyway. I'm not
really,
going to.
But it was like, and then she even said, like, oh, see, I guess you get your shot next time.
I'm like, okay, remember me?
Like, it was kind of weird. Anyway, whatever.
Oh, but then she told us a story too. She said we're just talking about what kind of people come into this place because you got to get buzzed in. And so she was telling a story about that very nice looking couple. They looked like they were going on this fancy dinner date, totally dressed up like to the nines. And they came in and she's like the whole room. I guess it was pretty full that night. The whole bar just stopped and they all looked at this couple like, what the hell are you guys doing in here? Like these are not like. You are so out of place,
right?
And so it's not like it's not. And but how did they found the bar by doing just the same search?
Yeah.
For dive bars.
Yeah, dive bar. And it comes up, and that's how I found it, and it was actually really cool.
The people are very nice.
Nice people.
Nice.
No, it was a really cool place. I mean, and again, the drinks couldn't have been more than $3.
I wouldn't go there by myself.
None of these I would go to by myself. None of them. I wouldn't go to any of these by myself. Like it's probably. Well, then again, you're buzzed in. You're probably pretty safe, and there's gaming, so it's probably security. I don't know. But
I'm just saying, like coming in and out.
Yeah.
Like around.
It's like we say about Dino's Lounge, which we love. Don't dilly-dally in the parking lot. Just
don't
get out of the car and walk in the bar. Don't mess around. Anyway, so from there we went to the most bodacious, boombastic. I was blown away by this place. Now, first off, I'm kind of turned around. We're heading back up Sahara. This is at 1000 East Sahara. This is not far from, say, the Sahara's Hotel or Pamplemousse, if you know where Pamplemousse is.
Le Pamplemousse.
Yeah, which is like the famous old French place right there across from like the Hilton and Sahara. This isn't far. Now, I also didn't realize this is also across the street from the Commercial Center, which is like the drag queen German sex store capital of the world.
Oh, Green Door, all those.
Yeah, all that stuff. I didn't realize we were right there.
Until we left, we're like, that's
here's where we are.
Okay.
This place, Cruise Inn.
Cruise Inn, CREWS''N, Cruise Inn,
is, as Portland Dave would say, who you saw 2 weeks ago,
right.
was off of the chain. First off, we didn't get buzzed in. Second, it was packed to the gills.
It was completely packed.
And it was packed with, literally, you stepped right out of a Hunter S. Thompson novel. I mean, it was ridiculous. It was old drag queens, Hawaiian
transvestites, a lot of transvestites,
gay guys,
regular looking
us,
ladies,
like regular people. It was literally
the oldest little ladies you've ever seen in your life.
I mean, it was literally the funnest crowd you've ever seen.
And everybody was just having a great time.
It was literally, Scott will get this, it was a David Lee Roth video.
Yeah.
It was literally a David Lee Roth video.
Midgets walking by, the bikini girls.
Yeah. It was like completely crazy. It was like just a gigolo. Like every room you went into was like something different. It was nuts.
It was so fun.
Nuts. Isn't even RuPaul in a David Lee Roth video? They had karaoke, which was, I was speechless at the karaoke. It was, first off, drag queens don't actually sing.
Well, it was, they were lip singing, but then they also had a couple of singers, actual singers,
great.
Amazing.
Like great show tune kind of. Everybody was so nice. There was a buffet in the back that everybody had picked all the good stuff out of because we showed up late.
I think there were some rolls left.
There was a Hawaiian drag show happening the next night, so a couple big Hawaiian guys were there.
It's like Miss Hawaii Tropics or something.
Well, but not like actually a miss though.
Right.
Like a miss, like miss being
like a
girl.
miss.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, missed that chromosome and got the Y. But was Miss Hawaii. But they were all there, and they look like Troy Polamalu, they look like Israel Kumak or whatever his name is. These guys
Israel
were
K
huge,
with mascara.
and just Hawaiian shirts, and they had little guys chasing them all over. They were popular. I don't know.
Yeah.
Must be some, I don't know, something in them. I don't know. I don't even go there. But cruise in A++++. I actually Twittered that when I was there. That this, my notes here. Holy crap! Draggiest bar ever, A+, 2 snaps in Z formation. And I actually wrote that not for Vegas beginners though.
No.
You would not want to just, if this is your second, third time to Vegas, bring them there. I mean, it was literally, it was like hundreds of times. You look up, there was a lizard, like drinking a beer. Like, you're like, whoa! It was crazy. Like a dinosaur or whatever. You're like, and you look over and it's like, what's the scene in Beetlejuice? You look over and he's like, he's a cockroach. It's like, hey, how you doing? It's like, that was like that. I mean, it was literally that crarazy. But it was so fun. It was entertaining. They were handing out flyers. The Hawaiian guys, they liked me.
They did.
I learned something.
Because he asked me, who's your friend? I'm like, oh, that's my husband. He's like, oh.
I learned if I'm ever lonesome tonight.
Okay.
I might just have to sing a little blue Hawaiian. So, give me some Kahlua Pig.
Anyway, so drinks were cheap there, too.
Drinks were cheap. Now, see, the bartenders are young kind of guys. The guy next to me there was this gay couple next to us that were just awesome. And that guy was 58 years old.
He looked like he was 40.
I know. It's great. I mean, it was just it was literally one of the best bars in town I've ever been to. Anyway, so I don't want to go on too long. Absolutely A+.
I'm going back here. For sure.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. In fact, this had you written all over it.
Yes.
I mean, this was like Victoria meets, what's that one in Australia with the poop on the necklace? Priscilla, Queen of the Desert meets whatever. This was like the perfect bar. Anyway, so we thought, hey, we're being all divey. Let's go to the biggest dive bar in the world that we just discovered 2 weeks ago. Let's go back to Stage Door. Woo, Stage Door. The drinks are only $1.50. What we didn't realize is as much as we love Stage Door. And we told about this.
This is a daytime place.
4000 Audrey Street, right behind Batista's and Bill's Gambling Hall, right behind the Flamingo. After midnight, we were there 13 seconds.
Yeah, we walked in. They kind of checked our IDs. We looked around. And we're like, ooh, pimps and hoes.
Yeah, we literally didn't have to be buzzed in, and I wish we would have had to be.
Yeah.
They should have a buzzer on that.
We walked around and we walked right back out.
I won't go too far into it, but we walked in, and you ever seen the HBO special On the Point? That's what it was.
Hookers at the Point.
It was Hookers at the Point. It was literally that bad. Like, I'm not saying they were hookers. They might just have been general hoes. I don't know. But it was out of control. Dangerous. I was like, oh my word.
But it's still a great daytime spot.
Oh my God. It's still in my top 5 places to go. $1.50 drinks. In fact, I said it before, I'll say it again. If we're heading to the Flamingo or that side of town, we will always stop in there for $1.50 drink. Why not?
Yeah.
If the sun's up. If the sun is up. Sun's down, don't go in. I wouldn't. Unless
you're daring, you can go in there and just order a drink and then walk out.
I take it back. If you're, you know what? If you're a couple dudes, go in there. What's gonna happen to you? I mean, they have security. I mean, there was security all over. Nothing's gonna happen to you.
Crawling with security.
It was just a little dirty. It was nothing bad's gonna happen to you. You know, but then again, security's there, but that won't stop the bullet. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, security's like, hey, don't fight in here, but that won't stop, you know.
Hey, bullet.
Yeah. So, but anyway, we did a couple of the things, but that kind of sums up our.
Yeah, that was the
Coupe de Grace. Now, by the way, we were heading to. There's other place I can't remember. It's like Players something or other in Chinatown. We never made it over there because after Stage Door, we actually ended up over at Ichabod and had dinner at 3 in the morning with the bed. But we're heading so there's a couple more places we want to hit on this dive bar extravaganza. Now, granted, there's places we go to all the time. Champagne's is a dive bar, one of my favorites. But we've already been there. We've already talked about it. But
Dino's is a dive.
Dino's, where we were at the other night. And in fact, one thing I do want to mention about Dino's. This is how you know a dive bar. Dino's Lounge, which is we're off the script. We were there. Was it last night? Whatever. And
It was
last night. And you know it's good when you're sitting there winning. We were winning on the gambling machine. And the gambling machine. And this guy walked in, like crazy kind of cracky white guy, like
meth head.
Yeah, like a meth kind of guy. Hey, girl! And he's talking to the bartender. You know, one of those guys, 2 teeth, and young guy though, couldn't have been 25. He's like, hey, I want to play a game of pool because they have pool there. But he's like,
he's wearing a trench coat. He's like,
yeah, and he had a baseball cap and all. One of those guys, you know. He's like, hey, can you watch this? He pulls out a half full bottle of Black Velvet with no cap on it. Like, just like, I don't want to drink in your establishment, so I'm just gonna give this to you, and then I'll get it on the way out. I'm just gonna shoot the pool. And like
for 25 cents, he was play pool for 25.
Yeah, we're like, oh, this place is awesome. I love this.
Watch my booze. So she put it behind the bar and be like, oh, I don't want to put that back in my clean bar.
I know. So she put it aside, and then I'm sure he got it on the bed. I mean, it's like, how cool is that? That was just another bar. So we had a dive bar extravaganza this weekend.
Dive-o-rama.
This is from your buddy Scott.
Right.
Have you ever been in one of these bars and actually felt threatened or scared or
no.
What the hell am I doing here?
No. Yeah, not because of physical violence. It's not even around anymore. It might reopen. The old Screwballs. I think we told the story.
Oh yeah, that was scary. I thought I would actually get something blown off.
Yeah, that was the 4th of July where they were setting off fireworks in the bar.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, they're not in business anymore.
A guy lost his toe.
We watched a guy lose his toe. But what I was afraid of, I wasn't afraid of getting beat up. Even though we were there the time before, and the guy was like,
oh, there was a bunch of like
UFC kind of. Yeah. That was kind of a sketchy, and that's not even a bad neighborhood at all.
It's just the clientele that I think.
But they thought it was funny to set off fireworks in the bar, and it kind of was. But it's like, I really don't want that bottle rocket going off right here, which it could do. You know, I really don't want that to happen, so I'm really uncomfortable. You know, you're trying to drink your drink like, oh, this is all fun. And you're trying to play along because you don't want to be the guy that goes, excuse me, guys, you probably shouldn't play ball in the house. Oh, my nose. You don't want to be that guy. So you're like, but you know what? It's going just bing, 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 bing. And those bottle rockets, you're like, you know what? If this goes off.
Well, we left that night.
Yeah, that was like the only time I've ever been like, But no, I mean, really, physically, I mean, like, no. Even these places, because the good news is, or at least maybe I'm naive, I always think there's gaming. There's cameras. There's security. Because of that gaming. I think that gaming thing keeps it on the level. You know, we've been in places in California and stuff like that where there's no gaming, there's no cameras, there's no security, there's no nothing. I mean, you'd start to rot here before someone found your body. I mean, this is, you know, but here, with all that stuff, you know, and then you look behind the bar and it's some 24-year-old girl working here by herself, you know. And we did talk to another bar friend of ours, and they do have a big gun behind it.
Oh, yes.
Another bar that's not mentioned here, but we're like, because it was a girl by herself, like, you're here all night. So, we got a really big gun right there. Like, oh, all right.
Okay.
So, no, I've never been like that. It just gets a little weird. I just don't want to get in the fight in the first place. I don't like, your wife's kind of hot for like an ugly chick. And I'm like, all right, now I got to beat you up. Or now I'm going to get beat up and, whatever. It's like, I don't want that to happen. But never felt that way. Even getting locked into Cheers, the first time we ever locked into a bar was at Cheers. We told the story on Halloween. It's old hat now.
Yeah.
Now we're used to it. Locked into a bar. But,
What do you mean locked into a bar?
Well, you're buzzed in, so it's locked. Oh. But Cheers, they actually chained it. Remember, we were locked. Well, because there was a nut out front. So when they unchained it, let us in, and then chained it back. So you were literally locked in that bar. That was one of the funnest nights ever, though.
Yeah, that was fun.
We were chained
and there was actually, the back door was open, so it wasn't like you couldn't get out if you didn't want to.
There's something I like. An open back door.
All right, there.
So, anyway, that's enough of us. Let's hear from you in a little segment. What?
I have 2 more places.
Yeah, but...
I'm not doing those?
Yeah, well, it's all going to be... It's downhill from here.
All right.
We blew our wad and cruise in. Oh! You wouldn't really want to do that.
Nicely done.
First off, you probably wouldn't be the first one that day to do it.
You don't want to
And-
GBs and coppers? No GBs?
No.
No.
That was. We'll talk about that some other time. Like again, you know us. We leave stuff out. We don't make stuff up.
Yeah.
So let's
We'll save those for another time.
Yeah. Let's move on to, hey bartender. What?
And we're back.
And we're back. No, we talked about our Cheers experience before. That was a Halloween night when we thought the
werewolves?
The werewolves were out front. No, they had a crazy person out front. Cheers, by the way, by the college. One of again.
It's an awesome place.
Maybe in our top 5. We got a lot of bars in our top 5. I think we got 30 of them.
Right.
But that literally
Very
is
big
like
5.
our 25th bar in our top 5.
You're like in our top 5.
But actually, Cheers I would put really in our top 5. Like it might be 4. Like I love that place. Anyway.
We'll always end up there hanging out with really good friends.
I know, it's just a great place by the college. By the way, I was looking at bars when I was doing that whole bar, what do they call it, pub crawl that we were doing.
That's what they call it.
You know what? There's not a lot of bars by the college. It's really kind of odd to do bars in general. You look, there's like, Stakeout and Freakin' Frog and Cheers.
Do you think that's by design?
Well, it might be a licensing thing. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you can only have so many bars close to a school. I don't know. It's just really, there's Crown and Anchor and like 3 other bars, and that's it.
And those are restaurants, too.
They're all food. Well, Cheers is not.
Cheers is not.
But
they're right next to Roberto's, though.
and they used to have a window you can order from through the wall that I hear they're going to bring back. But Roberto's put a fridge on that side, so you can't see it now. But
Damn Roberto's
I know,
and their
Roberto.
refrigerators.
All right. Anyway,
Refrigerators.
so email.
Okay, so I've got one from Wendy.
Right?
How do you incorporate alcohol into your Thanksgiving?
Oh, well, you.
That's kind of a wide question, wide open question.
It started a couple years ago here in Vegas. Went to go visit an uncle and my family reunion thing, and we started a tradition of wild turkey and domestic turkey.
Yes.
And that was a funny trip because before we lived here, we came out, did a family reunion, and oddly enough, my family drinks a little bit, and they
No, really?
we were doing wild turkey shots. This is before I was as schooled in alcohol as I am now, and realized, hey, that's 101 proof. You might not want to just start drinking. Right. You know what I mean? What did I know? It's booze is booze. I didn't know. And I was a lad. And all I know was we had, I don't know how much of that bottle of wild turkey with my uncle, and then had some turkey, went back. We had a room at Treasure Island.
I don't even remember what that room looked like.
Yeah, I don't remember ever staying at Treasure Island. I know that we stayed at Treasure Island. We were in bed by 5 o'clock that afternoon and slept till Friday.
Oh, man, we were out.
We missed a whole night in Vegas. We just went back to the hotel. I know we woke up at noon on Friday with our shoes on. Like, wow, that was...
I saw my docs laced up all the way.
Yeah. We didn't even we just fell down on the bed and passed completely out. So, but now now because we've got a little more class, or maybe not, but we've got a little more schooling. You did I think a lot of the stuff you're making has alcohol.
Yes, like we mentioned
gets
earlier.
Cooked out, thank God.
I have a ham I make that's very nice.
That's sprayed with bourbon.
Sprayed with bourbon.
Maker's Mark, perhaps.
Right. Brown sugar and crushed ginger snaps.
Right.
And
Learned
bourbon
that
on
from,
that. It's very good.
Good Eats.
Yes. It's very tasty.
Yes. And your turkey's got brandy. So.
It's got a brandy gravy.
Really?
Yes. It'll be cooked out too.
Oh yeah, we got some sober people.
We got sober people showing up. They're like, this ham is excellent.
Yeah, like, I don't know why, but
I want more. I'm like, have some gravy. That's evil.
You're gonna relapse them. No, but we have children coming too. So.
Yeah. No, you cook that out.
And no, so yes, we do. But that's just because of the whole foodie aspect. There's a lot of like wine and stuff. I can't cook with wine because I don't know how that works. I don't really know that. But I mean, so we do our. I guess we're doing brandy gravy. Brandy gravy.
It's gonna be good.
That could be our kid's name too. Brandy gravy.
And what was the other one? Something Crusta.
Brandy Crusta.
Brandy Crusta. Crystal Crusta.
Crystal. Oh, that sounds like that's a working girl.
Yeah. Crystal
Beat up a
Crusta.
lot.
Or Crystal Crusta.
Crystal Crusta. Ew. All right. I think she's singing at the Cruise Inn on Thursday night. Or he is. Anyway, it doesn't happen in Vegas, but it does happen on this show, and it's a segment we call Last Call. Okay, there is a faux pas there. And is that true?
Yes.
For the record.
Yes.
You do call them she's no matter.
You call them she's no matter what. They're dressed like a woman, you should say she.
Okay. I'm going
It's
in my
etiquette.
notes. Okay. Well, speaking of that, because that's right where I'm going with this segment of Last Call, which is where you find out how to not get knocked out, knocked up, thrown out, thrown up, or thrown in jail in Las Vegas.
Thrown up.
I Cruise In was such a cool place that I normally, when I check in, I use Foursquare and at Twitter, automatically sets to Twitter. I normally don't set it to Facebook for several reasons. I don't want people knowing we're not home. Secondly, it's a different crowd. Cruise In was so awesome, I wrote, we're at Cruise In. That's what I said, the two snaps in a Z formation. And I got a couple people like, old friends from California, like, oh, you're at a gay bar, blah, 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 you're gay now, whatever. Don't be afraid of gay bars. We've only really hit two. Well,
no, there's also by
well, I was saying Free Zone.
Yeah, Free Zone, and I want to go back there again too.
It's funny. You don't be afraid of these gay bars. First off, the drink specials are incredible. The people are incredibly
Everybody's
nice.
so friendly, and the entertainment is
Top
crazy.
notch. I mean,
you never know what you're gonna get.
I'm not dissing a sports bar, but I'm going to tell you, if you can handle it, if you're the kind of person, you got to ask yourself, if you're the kind of person that can do this. If you can go in and to a karaoke night or the drag show at Free Zone or the karaoke night at Cruise In, you will have a better time than if you probably go to like some big sports bar. I'm just saying, you probably will. It's really
if you're open-minded.
If you can handle it, and I don't mean that you don't even have to be open-minded. It's part of your makeup. Some people just can't do it, because there is a little level of annoyance. The fabulousness kind of does get a little grating after a while. Like, all right, you're fabulous. I got it. You got it. But for the most part, I mean, Free Zone, we have yet to go back and do that free beer Fridays or those things they do, and they have the
liquor
show.
bust and the beer bust.
Yeah, the liquor bust and the beer bust and all. It's like they're doing these great things. So it's like, it's not like in other cities where there's like a gay part of town. You might, it's like, and it's not like you're going to get in trouble going there, but you might get shunned. Like, oh, you know what, we don't. It is kind of a level of hate, but not in Vegas. Oh, have at it. I mean, this is the city of Liberace. Not that he was gay, but what's funny? My parents never thought he was. He was. It's funny. My parents never thought he was. They never. Oh, he wasn't gay. Like,
no.
What? Liberace? You look up gay in the dictionary. It says see Liberace. I mean, or Librace is what it's called. By the way, they did close the Liberace Museum, and that really saddens me.
That's very sad.
The Librace Museum. But anyway, that's my thing. Don't be afraid of the gay bars. Now, there's probably some leather bars you might want to skip out on. I don't know what those are, but do your Yelp, do your research, use the internet. But anyway,
our glasses are empty, so that means
our souls are full.
It's time.
Yes, we better kill
Hey,
it.
Dave, I got one question real fast.
Surely.
From the live chat.
Oh.
They want to know where you got your hat.
Actually, I got my hat.
Where did you get your hat?
I got it at the Halloween the 365-day Halloween store on Decatur and the 215.
Oh.
And actually, the funny thing about this hat is it's the only time I've ever worn it as in a Thanksgiving setting. I wore it to like some of the balls we went to and some of like just the random stuff I've done. But it's the only time I've worn it for things. And I'm gonna wear it all day.
It's a very nice hat.
I like the shape. It's square yet bendy. It's got a buckle. Gotta love it. So let's first off thank the live studio audience.
You guys are awesome. Thanks the live chat room as always. Live chat.
Remember, if you want to email us, pubcrawl@vegasvideonetwork.com. Pubcrawl at
Get on it, Scott.
VegasVideoNetwork.com. We are on the Twitter as the LV Locals. That's where you can find out if you follow us, you'd hear like, hey, they're at some bar at whatever. That's where we are. And the network is Vegas Video Network, which is good to know because there's so many shows and so much going on. In fact, Getting Real, the show that comes on Friday nights about real estate, I talked to her this week about real estate stuff.
Very good.
Yes. Bridget Magnus. That's a name.
That's a cool name.
Man, that should be our kid. Bridget Magnus. He's got a great name. Also, we're on iTunes, audio and video. I personally listen to us because I can't watch us live.
Nope.
Or I can, in a weird sort of way. But I listen.
Very good.
And YouTube, obviously. And KSHP.
And the Roku.
Roku, 1400 AM. Roku's great. Love it. It's all we have upstairs now.
It is.
That's all we watch. And remember, we do leave stuff out, but we don't make stuff up. And this week, we did leave stuff out. But we urge you to drink responsibly. And until next week,
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Bye.